Alright, so I've been playing Master Duel for a while, and I just hit Plat 1, max rank in this game, and I figured why not set on my deck list, because I love Cyber Dragons, and so does everyone else, because it's obviously the best deck ever made. So I figured I'll just go over this deck, kind of set it, and, you know, if someone's out there who want to play Cyber Dragon, well, here you go, you gotta start to spicy your deck list. It's both very good and pretty fairly cheap to build, all things considered, especially compared to some other decks. Very nice for you to play friendly, so let's go ahead and just get right into it. 3 herds, so you pretty much always want to have 3 herds. This is your main discard fodder, and if you can send it with another card like Tech Rampage, you can kind of control the card you want. It's essentially a pseudo search if used in conjunction with that, but oftentimes you want to discard it with Galaxy Soldier because that gets you the discard fodder for the second Galaxy Soldier you add. 3 Naster, some people only play like 1 or 2 of this. I think they're insane. This card is super good. It's special summons back basically all your Link monsters, your Chimera Tech if you ever go into the second game. Also, it does lock you in. It does lock you into machine monsters if you use its effect spell summon from graveyard. But if you have something like Overload Fuse in your hand already, that's not even an issue. Putting summons back your Nova, your Infinity, your Vanilla Cyber Dragon if you're in a pinch, Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon. It targets so many things. And worst case, it's a free special summon, and you can even like discard it with like a Herds if you have a core in your graveyard, 2 recycle the core to normal summon it back. 3 Max C, this is like the best hand trap in the game. If you're playing literally any deck, you should have 3 copies of this card in your deck. It's super good. It's banned in the TCG for a reason. 3 core main normal summons to any spell or trap card that has Cyber in the name, and if you can banish it if you have no other monsters to basically get any Cyber Dragon out from your deck. Very useful card, very versatile. It's your main normal summon. You pretty much always going to link it off in Almaraz to solve all your plays. Not much else to say there, except it's the best normal summon. It's really your only normal summon. This is the card you basically always want a normal summon. So if you're activating like Emergency, a Repair Plant, you're pretty much always going to be searching for this. 3 Ass Blossom, kind of like Maxi, especially in this format with everyone playing Maxi. Ass Blossom shuts down Maxi. Also just a generically good hand trap for basically every deck that does anything with the decks, but it's special summoning, adding from it. Basically, always want to have 3 copies of Ash and 3 copies of Maxi in pretty much every deck you ever play. I am playing 1 Via. This is the card you can kind of take it or leave it. It's probably the weakest card. You can like switch it out for some other card. Basically, it's a way to chain block Cyber Dragon core because when a Cyber Dragon when the Cyber Dragon summoned rather, you can special summon it from your hand, and you can make that chain link 2, so you can like block the core to make sure the effect goes off. And even then, most of the time, even if it's your hand, it's almost always just a free body on the field, which in Cyber Dragons, you kind of always want to be able to link in the very least in Anaconda. Bonus points you can link into the Sega. So just having a free extra special summon, definitely not a bad thing. Of course, 3 Vanilla Cyber Dragon, the deck's built around this. Also just a good card, free special summon. Very good for stuff like the Chimera attacks. There's nothing too crazy about it, just, level 5, you can special summon if your opponent controls a monster while you control none. Goat Format Killer, best card in the game. 2 Soldier, you don't need more than 2. You can switch it out with the Cyber Repair Plant. You can pretty much discard another light monster to special summon in defense, and then you can bring back a not Cyber Dragon. Then you can bring a Galaxy Soldier from the deck into your hand, and then when you discard it, like with Hers, which is the main thing you want to discard, you can fetch the Cyber Dragon, do special summon it, and you can go into your Nova, into your Infinity, all that fun stuff. 1 Jizakyu, it's a searchable Kaiju. Kaijus are very useful, especially in a format with so many really powerful boss monsters, and it's searchable with the Cyber Repair Plant. You'll need to run because it's searchable. You don't want to draw into too many. It can also be discarded with Galaxy Soldier if you have to go first, something like that. Also with Nasto as well. It's good discard fodder if you don't need it, and if you do need it, it's just a good Kaiju. 3 Machine Dupe, this card's insane, since every Cyber Dragon that's not named Cyber Dragon Veer is treated as Cyber Dragon. You can just target it with it and just bring out 2 Vanilla Cyber Dragons out and basically guarantee a Rank 5 play, Rank 5 play. And it's insane. Cyber Dragons are the cards you want on the field. You want your level 5s on the field, so just having a way to get them out for free. Also, if core gets asked, you can bait. If you have Machine Dupe, you normal summon the core, most of the time people are going to ask the core, which basically makes you free the Machine Dupe. You always want to try to bait the Ass Blossom out, because you're not going to get Nobleman, because unless you're playing like a Cyber Dragon mirror, you're not going to get Nobleman when you activate Machine Dupe. And with Machine Dupe, you can get into your Nova, and if they have the Nibiru, you can use the effect of Nova to bring out a Fusion Machine monster from your deck. Alternatively, you can go straight into the Infinity if you don't want to get a little more field presence, you want to be a little more safe. Either way, though, very good card. 1 Overload Fusion, this card's not bad if you draw into it, unlike other like bricks like Red Ice Fusion rather. But basically, you can banish materials to special summon a Dark Machine monster from your extra deck by banishing cards from the graveyard or the field. So basically, one of the main things you want to do with this is you want to link into Cyber Dragon Seeger and then use this so you can get a 4200 attack Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon that can attack multiple times per turn. Alternatively, which is depending on what your hand is, which more often than not, you'll be sending a Verte Anaconda, which basically you're going to always have the link materials in this deck to make the Anaconda at the very least, and those are often going to be Cyber Dragons, so you can Overload Fusion into the Rampage Dragon. So you at the very least have a 3 attack, 2100 body. They can send stuff like hers again, like I mentioned earlier. The guys can tutor out for what you want. My dog just sneezed. 3 Cyber Emergency. It tutors for anything in the deck that's not named Galaxy Soldier. Very good card. And if its activation's never negated, then basically you can just discard a card to re-add it back into your hand. A lot of people don't read that effect. And since the activation was negated, you can continuously use it till it resolves. So the only thing it doesn't counteract is Ash, because Ash doesn't negate. But if someone like Solemn Judgment just like uses a monster negate of the activation, then you can just get it back right away. And it's you can only activate once per turn, not use once per turn. So if the activation is negated, you get the chance to do it again. A 3 Cyber Repair Plant. Some people only play 1. I think that's an awful idea. Cyber Repair Plant. It's just your entire deck. Odds are you can brick on it, but it's so rare you do. Because you have so many monsters that can put themselves into the graveyard, and there's so many normal summons and ways to get a Cyber Dragon into the graveyard. And it tutors out for basically your whole deck. It's such an enabler. Like, it's a searcher. Why would you not play the maximum of searches? If people are going to disagree with that, I disagree with the people who disagree with it. Cyber Repair Plant's insane. 1 Rev System. It's a card where if, like, it's okay. You can definitely cut it. You can bring back any Cyber Dragon. It kind of comes in a pinch. You only play 1. You can switch it out with core if your hand's like insane. It can bring back something like Cyber Dragon Seeger as well, because it is treated as Cyber Dragon. Not an insane card. You can definitely cut it for something else if you like, but it's I like it. 1 Super Poly. Most of the time you could probably play 2. Like, you could probably even take out the Rev System for a second Super Poly. Cyber Dragons can struggle against negates, so having a way to kind of just wipe the field without a response is very good. Like, you have the Starving Venom Fusion, which is 2 dark monsters on the field. You have the Mud Dragon of the Swamp, which is 2 monsters with the same type, or same attribute, but different type. Cyber Dragons are light, and a lot of decks play light monsters. You can also get Fire out, even Earth out of the pinch, even something like Dark under some more specific circumstances, because the the Fortress Dragon and the Mega Fleet Dragon can't be used as fusion material, but you can kind of circumvent that by linking into something like Anaconda in the worst case scenario. Either way, though, it's just a nice card to kind of help situate the field. 2 Called by the Grave. This could also be Nobleman. I just don't have Nobleman. That's why I'm playing Called by the Grave. You're playing a combo deck, so you want to make sure your stuff doesn't get hand trapped. So 2 Called by the Grave. You can even probably replace the Rev System with Nobleman. 3 Infinite Impermanence, just kind of a nice another monster in the gate. You want to make sure you can actually start your plays. And since it's a card that can be activated from the hand, it can interrupt the opponent on their turn. And you can use it before your turn starts to make sure you can make all your plays going. And then just 1 Cybernetic Overflow. This card is really fucking insane for going first Cyber Dragons. This is a going second build because Dragoon is banned and we don't have Dark Phoenix Enforcer yet. But Cybernetic Overflow, it's a 1-of. You can switch it out pretty easily. And if it's ever destroyed on the field, you can just add another Cyber Spell Trap card from your deck to your hand. But you can banish Cyber Dragons of different levels from your graveyard to hand, and I think even field. Just pop cards on the field. It does not target, so your opponent has to respond to its activation, not its targets. So if you're seeing something like a Floodgate deck, it's very useful, or like even something like Eldritch, or like big control decks. Core, you pretty much want to switch it out there, and so you can pop all those problematic back row cards. If you do get stuck going first too, Core is also a good target for Core to make sure you can interrupt your opponent. Especially if you have a good opening hand, you can have stuff like a you can target up to 4 cards with Overflow. You have a negate with Infinity, and you have a bounce with Pallades. Just very good. And then to the extra deck, we have 1 Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon. This is kind of the main game ender because it can attack 3 times a turn. If you boost it up with something like Cyber Dragon Seeger, it's basically a guaranteed OTK. It won't always guarantee kill, but having 6,300 damage on the field, and it just needs a second monster to attack for damage, and you basically win the game. Also on summon, it can pop back row, which is also really nice, especially going second or against some certain control decks. 1 Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. I actually did play this initially just to kind of fill out my deck so I can start playing ranked. But it actually did come up quite a few bits. So it needs a Cyber Dragon and 1+ machine monsters, but it can use materials from either side of the field. It's actually a decent bit of machine monsters. It's good especially against Sky Striker because Ray doesn't trigger if you contact fuse one of the Sky Striker monsters off. So, and in Cyber Dragons, they do have the extra deck space for it. You could probably also play 2 Mega Fleet. This one has a slightly bit more versatility. Probably personal preference, but I just play 2. I just, there's sometimes a problematic machine monster set in the back. Like, Union Carrier is common. There's a lot of things you can kind of toy around with. It's personal preference, really. Either 2 Mega Fleet or 1 of each, I would say. But definitely you want to play 1 Mega Fleet, because Mega Fleet just takes care of any problem monster in the extra monster zone. It's a Cyber Dragon monster, not specifically Cyber Dragon, so any single of these Cyber Dragons can basically guarantee that monster in the Link Zone disappears. And it's 1200 for the amount of fusion monsters. It's basically always going to be 24, because you basically never want to actually make this with your stuff. One could still Pallades, just a rank 5 that needs light monsters. They can pretty much compulse a card once per turn. Very useful card. It's basically, you don't go into this too often unless you have a cracked hand. You can go into 2 rank 5s, which does happen a decent bit. You only need 1, because oftentimes you want to get to the infinity. 1 Nova, which, it's the main core of this deck. You can detach material to target a Cyber Dragon in your graveyard and special summon it. This effect is really good. It's basically the main way you get to your Link monsters. And if you have a really good hand to get another level 5 to go into your more rank 5s, you can ban this for like kind of an attack boost for 2100, but oftentimes that's not going to come up because you're basically never going to keep Nova on the field. And if your card's ever sent to possession to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 machine fusion monster from your extra deck. You could summon the Chimera Tech Rampage, but what you should be summoning is the Invoked Mechabo, which is why that's here. I skipped over it initially, just I want to get the Nova first. Basically, you just get this card's good. It's just an Army Negate that banishes, and it's kind of a punish to Nibiru, because generally the 5th summon is going to be a Cyber Dragon Nova, so your opponent can Nibiru and you get a monster out, and if they don't, you can just rank up into infinity. Which this card's insane. It's why this deck's so good. It's an Omni Negate at the cost of 1 detach, and it can basically just attach an attack position monster to it, including the opponent's monsters, and it gains attack for the cards attached to it. That doesn't come up too often, but just kind of a nice boost, but just an Omni Negate that can steal opponent's monsters, insanely good. 1 Zeus, you basically just always want to have this if you're playing a card with a deck with Xyz monsters. I don't actually go into it too often, just because Infinity, I'd rather have the Omni Negate than the board wipe, but like if it's a more grind game, it's definitely not a bad card to have, especially if you have something like Conceal Pallades on the field. That's definitely one of the better things to attach over it with Zeus. And when you have 1 Talmud Armor, this is basically there just to get a Cyber Dragon into the graveyard. It just needs to use 1 normal summon monster with 1,000 or less attacks. So that includes Core, Hers, and Nasta. So that's kind of the reason why you want to have that. Outside of that, it has a pseudo protection effect. Some people try to bet it with Geki, but most of the time it's not sticking around because you're going to be linking off to go into Anaconda. 1 Seeger, this is a card you go into kind of depending on the board state. If you have a nice hand, and especially if you hard draw into Overload Fusion, you're going to make Seeger. Pretty much, it can bump the attack of a monster with 2100 or more attack and just give it 2100 more attack and defense. You can't use this effect if it attacks. It can still attack, but you want to use the effect before you attack. It can be done in the damage step as well because it alters attack. And some people just don't read this card and blindly attack into it. And you can use the effect, it's a quick effect, on the opponent's turn. And because Seeger doesn't attack, you can use its effect to bump it up in the damage stuff and maybe just steal an opponent's monster away. And of course, 1 Anaconda, every deck's basically running this. Cyber Dragons in particular benefit from it because they can send the Overload Fusion and kind of make sure they get into Rampage Dragon, because it just takes any 2 monsters, and Cyber Dragons have no issue bringing 2 monsters out onto the field. Also, one thing to look out for with the machine duplication, you do not want to activate Veer if you're going to machine dupe the Hers, or any of them, because it's going to give it 500 attack and defense, and it's going to shut off the ability to use machine duplication on that, so it's something to watch out for. But anyways, that is the deck. I did take this all the way to rank 1. I can just show it real quick, just to prove I did. It's 100 Battle Pass because I have no fucking life. I did this all in like 2 days. Yeah, Season 1. There you go. I did it completely with Cyber Dragons. Very fun deck, very awesome deck, and have fun out there. I noticed I got a new field. Oh, that's an ugly hand. Ash is good, the rest of it's not so good. Extra Foolish Burial. So he's probably playing Sky Striker? I think, if he might have Rhoda, I think we hold it for Rhoda. Virtual Wall, that's not what I expected. Do I YOLO this? I don't know if you asked this. I'm so unfamiliar with Virtual World. I'm gonna just YOLO ask this and hope for the best. Because if he's fucking using extra Foolish Burial, Foolish Burial goods, that seems bad. It seems like he's probably picked. Oh, I think he was. Maybe. I hope. I can't. I almost didn't do that either. Set 2 pass. Let's go. Someone good, please. Oh, okay, that's actually not bad. We will normal summon the Naster. We have Called By, and we have Ask for Max C and Called By for anything else. Hopefully this is fine. Okay, so far so good. Machine dupe. No Impim, please God, don't have Impim. No Impim, no Impim. Yeah! Bring out the boys. Make Nova. This is summon 4. We can't really play around Nibiru, but I don't think Virtual World would play Nibiru. Because they want to go first, and since it's a best of 1, I think we're safe to do this. I'm going to make Almaraz. I think this one doesn't really matter right now. Only doing this for the Nova. That's the only downside to this line is that it is put in Nibiru, but if you Nibiru, you at the very least get a Mechaba, which is nice. Doesn't seem like that's gonna happen though. Otherwise it would have happened by now. I think we're in the clear for a win. I cannot believe that Ash worked. I'm not gonna lie. I will not complain though. Gonna make him scream. Put on middle. I never put stuff under the extra monster zone for some reason. I never do. And it's back to all my Link monsters point not under the monster zone. I guess Sega does. But Sega is a luxury. Bring out Infinity. Hopefully there's no Solemn Judgment. Solemn Judgment here would actually really suck. If we didn't have the Solemn, we're fine. I don't think they would play. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. That doesn't seem like a thing they would do. Alright, now we make the Anaconda. And then we make the... now we make... Chimeritek. Send the Overload. Infinite Impim. Well, it's gonna force it out. Yeah. Having Crossroad Designator would have been better in this situation. Yay! It worked! Till this card's gone now, whatever it is. We're gonna have to worry about it. Honestly, impiming the, funny enough, impiming Nova actually would have been the play. There's actually straight up nothing I could have done about that. Alright. This would be GG. What the hell is that? Yeah, whatever, who cares? We'll just send these two. Good old fodder. We win! The clutchest ass blossom of all time. Yeah! I honestly didn't expect to win though. I'm having ass in the counter trap. Apparently using it last time was the play. Speaking of ugly hands, this hand's almost good. It's okay. Dragon Maid. What's this one do? With your hand. I'm just gonna fire this off. I don't know what this deck does, but this adds something, and that's scary to me. I don't know what the choke point is of this deck. I'm just going to assume it's this normal summon because it's a searcher. Could go poorly, I don't know. But we'll find out together. Striker Dragon? Yep. Dragon Maid, Dragon Link. Wait, what the oh, is this just pure Dragon Maid? This is weird. Kind of scary, actually, I won't lie. Erratic Seals. He's just seal pass. He cannot be seal passing. Really? Interesting. Even more interesting. Alright, we got the core. See what we can bait out here. Resolving. Interesting. I guess we get Overflow? We get Rev. I think we get Overflow here. Okay, take care of the seals. He doesn't know. God, I love Mega Fleet Dragon, dude. It's so good. Best card. Right, now we Emergency. We add hers, and we Repair Plant, add Soldier. Me and my glossy cards. And was accidentally added hers. There's the Soldier. I don't understand people who play less than 3 Repair Plants. Repair Plants, it's just literally anything. It's so good. Some people play 1. I vehemently disagree with playing 1 Repair Plant. Vehemently. I don't know what these backer are. Backer does Dragon Link even play? I don't even know. It could be like Called by the Grave, I guess. I don't know. Bit Sidra. Bring out the Soldier. Bring out the Nova. For the longest time, I wasn't using Nova's Special Summon effect, and I don't know why. I think I just forgot it existed. He's thinking now. I think thinking. Intriguing. Dynamiscus. Interesting. That actually sucks a lot. That actually really sucks. I did not expect Dynamiscus. Any of these have weird graveyard effects? Can ban a special summon from your hand to graveyard on the fence. Okay, so it's just that one card. 2. I think we double set because he knows you have Overflow. Because we can live without Emergency. Emergency is nice, but we can technically live without it. Not a huge deal. I did not know you could do that. Oh, I guess it was sent there. That kind of sucks, actually. Okay. I mean, they get the Dragon Maid. We have... How much pops do we have, actually? 1, 2... We have 3 pops available to us. Then Tidying. Tidying doesn't really matter that much. Hospitality, that's the special summon, yeah, because double. Okay. What else did he have? He had hospitality. I think we rip it in here. And just wipe his board. I think that's the play. Solemn Judgments. Unexpected. Very unexpected. Alrighty then. Well, there goes that. So, do we even have a play with Masters? We really don't. Erratic Seals again? We don't have a good thing for this, which kind of sucks. Hers is actually pretty good. Because we can send hers to the grave, summon core, fetch out emergency. Okay. Oh, we have emergency. That changes things, kinda. With emergency... God. Okay, I know the line. We use emergency for Cyber Dragon. We can do it for Veer, too. No, I'll just do Cyber Dragon. Okay. Bring out Cyber Dragon. Spell summon Cyber Dragon. We use Nasta, discarding the hers, and we don't use hers effect and Nasta's effect. Do we? Do we use Nasta's effect? Because that can give us 4 monsters, but then that gives us Infinity. I think it gives us Infinity Sega, which is enough. Yeah, let's do that. I think this is the play. Bring this out. Chain link 1. Chain link 2. Okay. So it's probably not some Judgment he has back there. Okay, at the core. Bring out Sidra. Just bring out Nova again. Okay. He has to do something to Nova here. I'm doing once you control because your opponent can turn it to the hand. Interesting. Oh, and he has the Dynamiscus. I forgot about that. I realized the first effect was a quick effect. Probably too good, but I can whiz. A boy can dream. Okay, that actually kind of sucks. I think we can still win here. Just bring out the core, get Rev. Use the Rev. Bring out Cyber Dragon. Do this. Link into Sega. Go into battle. Activate effect to boost Cyber Dragon. Attack into this. Alright, we did it. Nice! Using Nasta was the right call. Otherwise, you've been super fucked. Let's go!